Is it that time? Oop, okay. Well, good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning, everyone. You're tuned in this morning, and I hope you're awake. If you're sliding out the bed, or if you're already at the water cooler, or if you're taking the kids somewhere, or if you're just one foot on the floor.
I think we're heard now. Can you repeat all of that? I didn't have the mics on.
Listen, good morning. I love mornings that start like this because that's the way I start every morning. When I was by myself, I'd start talking, or they'll catch me putting on my headphones, and I go,
Mhm.
"Look,
Look,
I'm just trying like y'all." So
that's
you
all
know,
we can do.
that's all we can do. But good morning. We're back.
We're
We're
back.
back at WKAX 1500 AM, the Winning Worship Radio Show with my girl Katera.
Katara.
Katera Bray.
That's me.
That I
That's
like
the
it.
real
It
me.
just flows.
Oh my
I like
goodness.
saying
Thank
your
you.
name, Katera Bray.
My
It
mom gave me
sounds
that.
yes.
Hmm.
Now we can hear the story live.
Oh, the story about where I got
Your
my name.
name.
Okay, so my father was adopted by some family members whose last name was Carter. My mom rearranged some letters and added one and got Katara.
Okay.
And then Bray came from kind of 2 places. I have an older sister. Hi, Crystalline.
Hi,
Her middle
Crystalline.
name starts with a B, and my mom wanted to keep up the initials CB,
Okay.
CBA,
Mhm.
and, which is adorable because ABC. But anyway, so
Mm.
yeah, she wanted a B middle name, and then, I have elders in my family whose middle name is May, M-A-E,
Mhm.
and that's how we get Katara
That's it.
Bray.
Katera Bray.
Mhm.
I like it. And
Thank
I like your
you.
sister's name too.
Yeah.
You have unique names.
Thank you. My mama did that. Now in the baby naming business, oh, she excels.
She,
Yeah. Mhm.
and
We
what
have
is
cute
mama's
names.
name?
Sabrina.
Sabrina. And
Mhm,
see, that's gonna confuse me because
mhm.
well, no, Sabrina's a pretty name, but it's just Tamika works with a couple of Sabrinas,
A couple of
or maybe
Sabrinas.
one. I'm not sure, but anyway,
Mhm.
it's becoming popular, that name
Yeah.
for me. But yours is unique,
Well,
and
thank you.
Crystalline.
Mhm.
Okay, help me now.
Yeah, but you got it.
Okay,
That was it. See, she got my mom got that because my dad's name is Christopher,
okay.
and she named my sister right. I don't know if anybody that's watching knows me and my family, but yep,
I'm
she was
getting to
right for
know
that.
this one.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
is Crystalline in the arts?
She could be, but she, went to college for physical therapy. She,
She's in
is
the right place.
yeah, she's really athletic and she
Mm.
loves, immersing herself in active things.
Mhm.
Just the intricacies and putting things together. Like she was the kid that would try to take apart a Rubik's cube, or not take it apart, but solve a Rubik's cube and stuff like that. And so she likes all the mathematical difficult stuff. I like singing and dancing and playing dress up.
Yes, okay.
That's what I like to
When
do.
when I was growing up, I can't say the singing part, even though I probably did because today, up until this moment in
Mhm.
my head, I
Oi,
perform.
I'm
No, that's
sorry.
okay. Hey, we're live. We're gonna keep it moving. I love it. But in my head, I think I'm singing and I'm performing.
Mhm.
You should see what I'm wearing.
Oh my
You should
goodness.
hear my voice. You should just see. I mean, everything from, let's see, something soothing like R&B, Whitney Houston. I'm blowing. And
Okay.
then if you want to dance, you should see me.
Oh my goodness.
I am.
Debbie
I'll give
Allen?
you. I. You know what? I love her.
Mhm. Is that you when you dance?
I'm between her. It depends on the song.
Mhm.
So it depends on the song because whatever moves me, then I can go into that frame of mind,
Mhm.
and then I'm dancing, I'm singing, and I'm performing, and it makes me feel good. And then when I come back to reality, I go, "Oh, that was a free concert.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it."
People, laugh at it and, but that's where it all starts. It all
Yes.
start if you can see it in your mind, you will be able to see it in reality.
Yeah.
That's what I believe at
The,
least.
no, and I believe that to be true, except for me, the singing. It's just not gonna happen, but I love to hear it in my head and to see me perform it.
So you told me, when as I was getting to know you, that you once upon a time lived abroad and that you
Mhm,
modeled and you did things like that. Can you
mhm.
elaborate more on that? Did you ever do any acting or performance?
Oh, well, you know what? Let me go back to high school.
Mhm.
I always took dance
Oh.
because I love to dance.
Mhm.
And so and different types of dance everywhere from now I never got into tap dancing, even though I used to go to tap dance class just to watch them
Oh,
before um it was time for me to get into mine. So I did a little modern dance.
mhm.
That wasn't me, but I like jazz dance
Okay.
and I took belly dance, Afro Haitian,
Wow.
Afro Caribbean. That was 100 years ago. And, then our teacher, she didn't just keep us in the classroom, she had us performing. So,
Wow.
we did a tribute to Duke Ellington on the Queen Mary on the ship, and then we performed at Disneyland, and we did that same, chorus line type thing for Duke Ellington,
All in high school.
all in high school.
Now that's
And
incredible.
it wasn't getting paid for it, it was just for the love and the joy of
Absolutely.
dancing and
Mhm.
learning, and then getting that experience and
Mhm.
exposure, you know? I wasn't thinking so much well, I do, I love anything that's creative, and I love dance, and I love
Mhm.
singing, the arts and modeling, everything, whether I'm in the front or in the background, I
Mhm.
just wanna be a part of something like that.
Yeah,
But,
same.
in high school, it wasn't like, "Okay, this is gonna be my dream," but it was an experience,
Yeah.
and I loved it, and then
Mhm.
to do the things with the canes and the top hats and the kicks and and to see people's reaction. That's the way you described it yesterday when you went for an audition
Mhm.
and the people's reaction. So,
Mhm.
there was a girl in one of our, chorus line dances, and she dropped the cane,
Mhm.
but we kept it moving, and she kept moving, and she kept acting as though she had one,
Mm.
and we still got applause, it was nothing wrong, and at the end, she picked up her cane. When we went to the back, she cried, and
Mhm.
she cried so hard because of her dropping the cane and this and our teacher came over to us and said, "You did perfect.
Mhm.
You didn't stop
Mhm.
and pick up the cane." That
Yeah,
would've that
that would have been worse.
it would've been worse because you're thinking about you picking up the cane, and then if you'd have done that, it would've disturbed the whole line,
Yeah.
because then the focus, even though we're doing it, we're watching you do that, and then you
Mhm.
have to get back in there and continue it. So, she
Yeah.
did well, and our
Live
teacher
theater
had no,
yeah.
go ahead.
Live theater is full of mistakes, just like humanity. So, I mean, yeah, you're gonna see is how you choose to deal with it.
And that is so true. That
Mhm.
is so true, but once she calmed down and I took that with me
Mhm.
too, just keep going,
Mhm.
because as you just said, life, we're gonna have mistakes. I mean, because life is happening, like, right now.
I
And just like just like with the phone or just like I mean, every day
Mhm.
that I would get on the air, it's something with, like, I'm putting on my headphones or I'm doing this and I'm doing this,
Mhm.
and then Twinkie says, she's waving at
Mhm.
and I said, "Oh, hey,
Hello.
how you how y'all doing?
Yeah.
How long y'all been there?"
Oh, I wanna ask, what is the biggest mistake you made on stage, and how did you deal with it?
You know what? As far see, and I can't really performance-wise, no, and even when I had to walk down the runway, I don't
She was
okay, you know what?
perfect.
No, it
She had
wasn't
it
that I was
together.
perfect, but I'll tell you what I was every time. I mean, every time
Mhm.
I had to either walk on the stage or walk down the runway or even take pictures, no matter what I had to do, I always was nervous. I was always
You were
scared.
nervous and scared?
Always,
Wow.
always. But it's just like you dig it, that other personality comes out.
Oh, yeah. But and so with through that other personality comes
She
no, go
wasn't
into it?
and listen, and she wasn't and isn't
Mhm.
arrogant, she was just that sure person,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then she
Absolutely.
said, "Look, this is what we wanna do,
Mhm.
and this is where we are, and we are here,
Yeah.
and we are amazing."
Yeah.
And not conceited, not stuck up, not arrogant, not stank.
Mhm.
We are just this is because when you're performing, you wanna please and make the people smile, and they
Mhm.
come to see you,
Mhm.
so they wanna enjoy it.
Mhm.
And then when I did hair fashion and stuff like that, and that was my thing.
Mhm.
I just want somebody to get in there and just wash my hair and do my hair,
Mhm.
and I'm in La La Land while they're doing my hair
Yeah.
live.
Mhm.
So then when you get up, then you have to walk it and then you have to show it. And it was, I was always fearful of falling.
You never fell?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you
No, no,
better than
no,
me.
that was God. No, no, listen, I mean, because if you're in heels and stuff, and I would always wanna look the floor before I got there, like, is it smooth?
Mhm.
Are there any cracks? Are there any, I mean, you have to check all
All
that
that
out,
stuff.
because I used to, you may be too young for this, but I'm almost certain you heard it before, but there used to be an Ebony fashion fair because of
Yeah,
the
I've heard
Ebony
of that.
magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, them sisters
Mhm,
and the few brothers that was in it.
mhm.
Now that was tight. Mine wasn't because I was so famous, and we'll have to talk again on people without you knowing that you've allowed people to get in your way. Not you, I'm talking in general.
No, I know what you
But
mean.
but
Oh my gosh! Hi, mom.
hi mom. Oh my god. Yeah. How you doing this morning? You know what? She's a beautiful creation. So thank you. That's the only way I can put it. You're just a beautiful
Bless
creation.
you, and likewise.
Oh, well,
Ditto. Right back at you there.
look, we're having a moment,
We
not
are.
just for mama. I'm talking
Mhm.
about for everybody. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But no, I don't want to sound as though I never made a mistake. Maybe
No, but
maybe
you
I
would
was
just
off
be
on a.
admired. Nobody would say anything.
Mm,
Nobody they'd just be like, "Dang, I wish I could do that," because I know for a fact I made my mistake. That was loud.
no, I'm almost certain that I might have made mistakes, but as far as like, can I
No, I
remember
made blunders,
no,
like,
no.
obvious stuff. That's what I mean. I'm asking
Oh,
if you made obvious mistakes that was inarguable, you weren't supposed to do that. I've done that.
oh, okay. I want to hear yours. I'm boring. What?
No.
No, really. What?
Well, there was
Because
a
you know what, your
time that
personality shows that you could handle the blunders.
I mean, I tried. I fell off the stage. Off
Okay.
of the stage. Yeah, the stage
Ooh.
was probably about 5 or so feet off the ground, and I fell off of it. Maybe 4, but yeah, fell off of it.
What?
Yeah, it was,
You danced your way right off?
I wa the okay, the song, the number was, all black. It was supposed to be cool
Mm.
or whatever. It's supposed to be, something exciting or whatnot, and the lights would be off on the stage, and it would just be flashlights to make it a moment.
Mm.
Well, I
Okay.
also had on sunglasses. For those of you that don't know, on stages, they have glow tape and a number line that glows in the dark just so that you can see it on the stage and it
Right.
doesn't take away from the performance. Well, I couldn't see that because, I guess the glow tape was old or something, and I had on
Shades.
shades. So, the song was supposed to be angry,
Mm.
and it was supposed to be like, "Rah, rah, rah," and I'm yelling, and that's was the character choice, and I got way too into it, and I had to walk somewhere, and I stomped right off the stage. Well, my right butt cheek bounced off the side of the stage. I landed on my feet, and, it would go black every now and then, and
Mhm.
so in between the times it was supposed to go black, I just made my way up to the stage.
Nobody in the audience knew?
I don't know. I thought it was obvious. I have a
Wow.
video.
Oh my god.
Mhm,
And you know what? And then you just bounced right back and just got on up there.
because I wasn't gonna somebody told me that embarrassment was a choice, and I was like, "I'm not gonna
Okay.
choose embarrassment."
I'm 103 years old, and
No,
that is
she's
no,
not.
I am. I almost said I is, but
Ayo.
I'm gonna take that with me.
Mhm.
And embarrassment is a choice because when I was doing my thing, I don't know. I was never embarrassed. I was more shy. For anybody who's shy, and then you're gonna put. One lady told me, she said, "You're shy, but you want to get up in front of all these people."
I'll speak to that. No, here's the thing. You it's not like she was talking about different sides of yourself. When I'm on stage, I'm in La La Land. I'm not in the real world. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
conscious of
Mm-mm.
how I look, what my hair looks like, what my nails look like, what I sound like. I'm conscious of what I sound like because I'm singing
Right.
9 times out of 10 on stage, but I'm not living in my frontal cortex.
Mhm. I
Not
get
to
it.
get too not to get too much
I get
psychology
it.
in there, but I'm honestly living a dream.
Dream.
As a
That's
little
perfect.
kid,
That's what
and I think a lot of us do that. As little
I
kids, you
did.
just go into La La Land and you go into your own little world and you're just having fun and there's not a care. That side of me isn't thinking. Is it the same for you?
Yeah. You
I'm
can't
not thinking,
think,
I'm just feeling and I'm just living and
and you're just doing.
I'm just doing. And when you come off the stage, that's when the shakes come. Like Homegirl, I have a feeling. The girl that dropped the cane, I've been there. I've had to do canes and
Mm.
top hats and kicks and all that too. When the you're almost in survival mode because more psychology.
I
Um
like it.
Statistics say that the number what do you think the number one fear is?
As far as in performing?
No, 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 the number one fear in life, the number one general fear.
Oh god, too many is coming to my head, but I'll pick one. Failure.
Hmm.
You know, a lot of people, don't want to fail or not being accepted, you know?
Psychology said the last time I looked that public performance or public speaking was the number one fear.
Oh god,
You know what number 2 was?
what?
Death.
You know what?
People would rather die than do what we do. That's what it said. That's what the statistics said. And so you do it's a certain height because failure and not being accepted, all that can
Mhm.
happen on stage in front of a bunch of
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
It's you're subject to humiliation when
Oh
you're on
god,
stage.
yes.
So yeah, you kinda go into survival mode, like, I just have to that's why you need muscle memory, that's why rehearsal is so important so that you know what you're doing. And so, yeah, I bet you that was the first and the only time that girl ever dropped the cane, and it's like, "Really, now it's gonna happen?"
Yeah.
'Cause the adrenaline was high and everything. And she didn't
Sh
cry on
Mm-mm,
stage, she
mm-mm,
made it
mm-mm.
through. But after,
Mhm.
because
Oh,
all
she
the
broke
feelings she
down.
had were suppressed, they came out violently like
Mhm,
that. That's
mhm.
why people throw up after performances. That
Or
when you give
before.
so or before, that when
Mm.
you give so much, when you're not being conscious,
Mhm.
when you are conscious, your body will let you know, "Excuse me, you
Mm.
just put me through a lot."
Yeah.
Okay? Mhm.
Not only physically, but mentally.
Sure enough. Well, look, we have got to take a break for just a second.
Yes. Okay, I'm so glad and thankful that you decided and do this every day. Make that decision to join us every weekday morning, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 here at WKAX 1500 AM, the Winning Worship Radio Show. Oh, we love you. And
Love
we
you.
will be right back.
We'll be right back soon. Oh, no, not yet. I'll probably eat it later because I actually just ate. Mhm. Mhm.
think it's right. Oh,
Welcome, welcome, welcome back some more.
hey now.
Hey
Hey now.
now.
I'm t- I
So,
get caught every time.
I love that. No, but we did good this time. We
Yeah,
just
we
taking
did.
it one
Hmm.
section at a time.
That's it.
So, we were talking about over the break. What were we talking about? Because we be chatting for real, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, real stuff, and we want to bring it to you as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had mentioned high school
Mhm.
for you
Yeah.
because of your training and because of your listen. You sound like you knew from a very early age what you wanted because we talked
Mhm.
about even at the age of the Disney, from Raven Simone
Yeah.
and everything. So I was just wondering, in school, I said, I hope you weren't bullied or people looked at you in
Mhm.
a way because of your confidence and your sureness of what you want. And this is, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna take this class, I'm gonna do this. And listening, actually listening to your mother,
Mhm.
um, that I would hope that a lot of kids weren't so mean.
Well, I don't
Because some people look at it and go, "Oh, she thinks she's this, she thinks she's that." No,
yeah.
and in God's sight, you are.
w- we are fearfully and wonderfully made, but I don't consider myself to have been bullied. I really I don't take that word lightly. I'm
Mhm.
trying to, because there are people that really get down and out to the point where they don't want to be on earth anymore.
Mhm.
um
Maybe I shouldn't have used the word bully,
no, no,
but
no,
how
but
people will talk
no,
about
but it's
you, that's
possible.
part
People
of
have
bullying.
been I've met, like, child actors and child performers that have been bullied to that point, legitimate bullying, people saying, "You need to drink bleach, you're stupid, you're ugly," and all these terrible things.
Mhm.
I consider myself to have been picked on,
Oh, yeah, that's the word,
but I was
that's the word.
also, if we're being honest here, I was a pretty easy target. First of all, I was really, really rowdy and wild and boisterous and very awkward at the same time. I was, and I had a lot of energy and I had no clue what to do with it. And so, I was not a good dancer at all growing up,
Mhm.
but I really wanted to dance. And so on
Okay, okay.
stage, I would try to sing and dance, not recognizing, I thought if I had the energy, I could just do it. No, you need to
Right,
train and
that's right.
condition yourself
Mm.
to control your breath so you can control your voice and to control your body movement so that you're not wasting any energy. I didn't know any of that. I was just up there.
Mhm, and
So,
tiring out.
and tiring out, and it sounded like, and it was really awkward. So, I mean, I kinda gave people an invitation to pick on me, if I'm honest. I mean, it hurt, sure. I mean, I didn't like, being picked on, and there would be some times when I wasn't bothering anybody, and people would come by and just say something crazy, and I'm just like, "Now what was that for?" And I definitely had people tell me, "Oh, you think you this, you think you that," and all this stuff, and I'm like, "No, you think it, you said it. I didn't say that. You said
Mhm.
it, and I know it wasn't up here. You gave me that idea. Don't be walking over here like you fine. Oh, you think I'm fine?"
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
Like, I used to get a diss. People used to diss me and call me Beyonce. Like, "Oh, you think you Beyonce. You ain't got nothing on Beyonce. Oh, look at Beyonce. Look what she doing." And so,
So, oh, thank you. You're
comparing
comparing
me
me
to
to that.
Beyonce? Because, obviously, Beyonce was very inspirational because like I said, I like to sing and dance,
Mhm,
and I really love her talent in that she can sing and dance powerfully in both, realms, and then I got into
mhm,
musical theater, and I met so many others that could sing and dance of the same caliber.
right.
And so, yeah, I mean, it happens,
Mhm,
and you know what I did think? Excuse me, I did think, um, because it didn't phase me so much being talked about and being, you know, made a pinnacle of, sort of,
mhm.
um, because I was like, "Ugh, I can't wait to grow up and get out of this area and meet other people, other dreamers just
Yeah,
like myself."
right.
And then it didn't happen like that, and people were
Mhm.
actually a bit worse in a different way, so, yeah, to answer your question, yes, I receive flack from that. I do get flack from that, even to this day.
Right. Oh, I know.
But especially now that I've come more into my own, and, I don't know if I mentioned this on air yet, but I mentioned to Miss Janet that I do my best to view myself objectively. Like, I look at myself and I'm like, what is the truth here?" Okay, so I realized that I have the mannerism of a dying bug when I dance, so maybe I should take a few classes. Maybe I should get into some training.
Wow.
It was rough.
She said a dying bug.
When you hit a dirt dauber and it just
Oh,
that
man.
was me.
I can't even imagine that.
Oh, do
I
you
can't
want
ima but,
videos? I have proof.
yeah, I'm gonna have to watch, but I can see you had a lot of
Yeah,
energy.
and I still and, there were some girls in school, um, they I wanted to dance, and I don't know what made them invite me to their dance, workshop, but I went, and it was fun, and it was, the first time I have to be given an example first. I can't just make up a dance. That's what I learned. I'm like, "Okay, so I just need to copy the choreographer and I'll be good." Because when I did that, then I looked better and I didn't
Mhm,
look so awkward. And so, then, I started to really come into my own and gain confidence and put my energy in the right place, and I ended up from there, getting to compete with the dance group,
mhm.
and then that also helped my professional
Yeah,
shine.
and a lot of people think, well, because when you're given a God-given talent, we still need to be structured and guided. Because
Oh,
like you talked about
yes.
your breathing,
Oh,
and
yes.
that's a lot because, I look
That's
at
half the battle.
because some performers, well, okay, performers to me are people who really perform and act out, singing,
Mhm,
dancing, all of that.
mhm,
But then there's great artists who just stand there and sing, and
mhm.
I understand that. And I'm not certain if they would have that same uh, breathing techniques and to jump around like that because
I don't think they would. It takes
it
practice.
takes practice, and
Mhm.
then because you're doing things,
Yeah.
I remember this girl, it was one of our hair fashion shows, and they had, the casual category,
Mm,
and then they would have the sports category type things, the tennis and the how to do your hair.
mhm,
So, and then they had the evening wear. I
mhm.
was always the evening wear.
Okay.
And so this one particular girl, and I really liked her, she wasn't messy
Mhm.
or anything like that. But it got back to me, and I'll tell you how it got back to me. It was actually through the lady who did my hair. So this one particular show, she said, "This time you'll be doing casual wear, and she's going to do the evening wear."
Okay.
And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." Like that. It was no big deal for me. I'm still in the show. I'm still getting my hair done. I'm still going to have fun. I didn't think, I really didn't think why. Because I always get to wear the nice dressy outfits. I always get to, why? I didn't say anything. I promise you before God. All I said,
I know you
okay. I said, okay.
and you
And
probably didn't even think anything of it, like,
I,
"Oh,
d-
they're changing me.
they're
I
just
get to do
change.
something new today."
I'm doing this.
Mhm,
And then I said, okay. Now, when we switched roles, if you will,
mhm.
we still both had to walk down that thing. They still were doing our hair on stage. And
Right.
then
And I bet you were still getting paid.
and, mm, and so, so, when she walked down and she did her thing, well, I had to go first because it went all, from the casual wear and the sportswear and the beach wear and all this type of stuff up into the evening. So, of course, her thing was last. So then we all got on stage and were clapping and,
Mhm.
just the whole thing. And the very next time we had to do a show, they switched us again because they said, even though she walked it, it wasn't for her.
Mhm,
In an evening gown or
mhm,
in a her walk wasn't what they wanted.
mhm.
I'm trying to find my words.
No, I really know what you're saying just 'cause
Me, it was easy, not because I thought I was all that. It was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna wear something fun and tennis shoes or whatever it is, and I'm
mhm.
just gonna it's your
You're gonna go in the
personality.
part.
I'm gonna
And
go
they
and
were
have a
looking
good
in the
time."
director and the producer standpoint, this is the effect that we're going for. And you were just
Mhm.
like, "Okay, let me just go and do that thing."
Mhm.
And then somebody else with the mindset of competition
Right, and see,
comes
and
in
that's
and they ruin
and
things.
then,
I hear what you're saying,
but
yeah.
and it wasn't, and really that's anybody who knows me, I'm like, it's okay because we're all doing the same thing, we're part of a team. Yes,
Right.
I do like the dressy stuff, but I thought, okay, and it was funny because then I didn't know I had a body
Mhm.
until now everything is different.
You still banging. It's
And
still
so
banging,
I
banging.
would
Yep.
wear these when I had to do swimwear, I
Mhm.
always said, I remember Tyra Banks said this, "We're gonna have to hide the back of this butt," but and then now you get older and you go, "Oh, I wanna wear that," and I thought, "Girl, why didn't you think about wearing that when you was younger?" And then
Mhm.
now here you are, 97.
Ah.
I done changed it again. I love my 103. But, no, and I said that about that girl to say this, and she still was a sweetheart, but, when she said something or somebody else had said, "You think you're it," and I said, "I don't know what it is, but,
Mhm.
whatever it is, we're all a part of it because we're
Exactly.
still all in the same show."
Mhm.
And to me with, that, I just wanted to have fun. It
Yeah.
was a fantasy to I
Yep.
didn't have to buy the clothes.
Yep.
I didn't have to but the makeup so people were always touching me and fixing me up, and
You
it
were
was just
playing dress up.
I almost
Yeah,
hit her.
because
Because I've
that's
been
the
doing that
thing.
since I was a little girl.
Exactly, these are that's why I was a little frustrated and still get frustrated with people who wanna make it deeper and or condescend it from a dream and make it selfish and egotistical.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And it was
Just
none of that.
enjoy yourself.
Just
Be a kid
enjoy.
for a second.
Yeah, just I mean, it
Yeah,
was just all fun and plus and just like when people say, "I'm getting paid to do what I love."
right.
So it's like you get out there and you perform or
It's
you
all
do
about
this.
mindset.
It's the mindset, and so, I can't say I was, so much a performer. I did some dance here
Mhm,
and there, and I did a lot of shows as far as clothes or hair, but, and then and Imma say this, and I got on it was for you, it's for
mhm,
me, it's for all of us, but as far as you with gifts,
mhm,
and, I don't want oh, where is it? Oh, please
mhm.
let me find it.
Well, as you look for that, we're gonna take a quick break,
Oh,
and then
yes, and then when we come back, I'll share it.
we'll share it. Yes, indeed. You are listening to WKAX 115 to 1500 AM radio,
Mm,
winning worship radio. We'll be right back.
see ya. You hear my chair? Yeah, these mics are sensitive.
This is not doing. Hello, welcome back to WKAX 1500 AM radio, winning worship radio. I'm
Janet?
Katara Bray.
I'm Janet.
Yes,
It's
indeed. And I sure do hope you can hear us.
Janet.
Ah,
I
this is
I
day
hope
2 for
so.
me, and I'm still figuring out what in the world technology is.
Oh, she's
Uh,
better than I am. I promise you. That's why she's in the queen chair.
Queen
Um,
chair. I would take princess, but you, your highness, are the queen.
oh no,
Yeah.
I'll tell you who royalty is, but she'll just get mad. Oh, I'm not gonna say her name live on the
Oh,
air.
we're not
Tamika
gonna
Tubbs.
embarrass her?
No.
Oh,
Did I
we're
say
not gonna
Tamika?
embarrass Tamika Tubbs for being the
No,
queen. Yeah,
no,
we're
we're
not even
not.
gonna mention her about being
No.
Her Royal Highness
But if
who
it wasn't
services
for
the
her,
people. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah,
I
say
can
it.
get in trouble later.
Mhm.
She still loves me, I hope and pray. But really, if it, really, no, all joking aside, and then I'm gonna throw in some jokes. But she really is a good help.
Yeah.
She really helps out, and for someone who, well, I can't go into our conversation. That's between me and her. But it's funny how I've
Yeah.
watched her develop,
Yeah.
and that I've watched how this station came to be,
Mm.
and how she really helps out in not only directing and producing how we're to do this, but the different knobs. She's not afraid to
Mhm.
unplug and plug,
Mhm.
you
And
know.
she doesn't get flustered when you don't
She
know
doesn't,
things.
and if she does, we don't see it,
Yeah.
you
Thanks
know.
for hiding it from us.
Thank you.
All right, we're done.
Just got to give her a little shout out.
Yeah,
Hope that
just had to give you
I
a little
hope
shout
it
out.
makes her day. I really do.
Yeah, she's
I
appreciated. We'll give you your flowers while you can smell them.
yeah, what you
We
said.
ain't
I
putting
mean, I don't
flowers
want to
only
just
on the grave.
and I don't want to just smell them. I want to see them.
Mhm.
I want to hear them. No, and that's why I keep giving you what I give you.
And
And
I hope
and
you
and
receive it
and
back.
and I do. That's why
Yeah.
I woke up on the second day of her second day, and I just think, it's easy now to come. I mean, it
Aw.
wasn't hard for me to talk to you one on one. I promise you, I was enjoying myself because when she does leave, it's just you and I.
Yeah.
Okay. But we have a treat. And so when I get up, I didn't really feel flustered because our
Oh,
first day was like
I thought it was
beyond
great.
awesome. It was
Yeah.
just, we were just in there just as
You
we are
were
now.
the highlight of my
No,
day.
no. And so were you because there's no pretense. There's
Mm-mm.
just, we're just talking
Yeah.
and it's
That's why
flowing.
we missed cues. I hope you feel the sincerity.
Yeah, I really do. I hope it oozes into wherever you are.
But we're not gonna get on a tangent. You had
No, no,
something.
no. And this is for you. This is for
Oh,
all of you.
okay.
But when I saw about our gifts, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna read it first because I
Read it.
was already about to dissect it and analyze it. It's
Okay.
in First Timothy. I'm
Mhm.
doing this without my glasses. First Timothy 4:14, and it's from the NIV. Do not, and I'm gonna repeat. Do not neglect your gift, which was given you through prophecy when the body of the elders laid their hands on you. It's a gift from God.
Guess
And
what?
and so we're not going to neglect our gift that was given
Guess what?
before we were born. It was ordained.
You gotta guess. Guess what?
What?
I studied that just last night.
No, stop it. Don't you I ain't going to have you. I'm not going to shout.
I was reading it
I'm
just
shouting.
last night.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's a wow moment for
Yeah.
me.
Mhm.
Uh-uh. Ooh.
Because when you said it, I was like, and then you read it, and I was like, "Yep,
Confirmation.
confirmation."
Mm,
We
mm.
literally
Okay.
are on the same page.
I love that. I
Yeah.
can't believe that man, because when I saw it, it was for me because I
Yeah.
was talking to myself about, come on now, you got to burst out. You got to
Mhm.
just do. It's
Yeah.
it's not nothing that's going to hurt anybody. It's
Mhm.
something that's going to help somebody,
Mhm.
and then it's going to help you because of the love I have for the words that are given to me
Yeah.
to speak. And then I promise yourself came to my mind immediately
Wow.
because of that's why I asked about the people in high school, the
Mhm.
people even as an adult, people before they even get to know you and say hello to you will
Mhm.
form their opinion because of your God-given talent
Mhm.
And then, you mad at me because what God gave me,
And you
gotta
know
give it to you too, just something a little
yeah,
different.
absolutely. He gives gifts without repentance. Honestly, I wasn't bothered by it. I or I was affected, but I was not bothered. The weapons did form, but they
Amen.
were not prosperous because I had a weapon too,
Amen.
and it was the
Amen.
gift that God gave me,
Come on now.
and it never that's what I had to fight back with, which is why I could be like, "Okay, they were laughing, but let me see why they were laughing." And then I
See,
would watch the video
you
back and
turned
I
the
get it.
negative to the positive. You took the
Mhm.
what
What the
what
devil meant for
for
evil,
evil, God
God
meant
turned it
for
around for
good.
good.
And then not only that, you say, okay, well, how can I better myself? And
Yeah,
then on top of that, it's so much going on right there because it's like
right.
I'm not going to let them upset me enough to
Make me stop.
make me stop,
Yeah,
not fulfill the dreams and plans
yeah.
that
I
He has for me.
I was too passionate about it.
And I was passionate, I was excited, and even though I was shy about it, it stayed
Right.
in me to the
Because
point I couldn't suppress it.
exactly, because it's a passion. Passions, they burn.
Passion
They
burns in a
you it's
most beautiful way.
in the most beautiful way. And what you're passionate about, you're willing to suffer for.
Oh, amen.
And
The
sometimes you really
passion of
can't help it.
Christ.
I'm not just doing this job because I didn't wanna do anything else. I was too sensitive. I am too sensitive and too passionate to do anything else. I get bogged down when I work in any when I have to make money. Well, really, because when you're at work, you spend most of your time at work because that is your livelihood.
Amen.
And if I
Yeah.
had a regular 9 to 5 job, I couldn't fulfill my passions, and if they were burning, no matter what, they
Mhm.
would burn me up inside. If I didn't release it,
Mhm.
it would burn me up.
I'm
I'm not
knowing.
doing it, and if you're not passionate about something, you won't understand what I'm saying, but when you're
Mhm.
passionate, it burns to no content. You have
Mhm.
to release it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, that's why a lot of people, go
Yeah.
and they go really far left, you know?
And don't give up. That's the
Yeah, because they may have gotten their dreams crushed or something like that, and they were still sensitive, they were still passionate, but
Mhm.
just lost hope and didn't keep the faith, you know?
And one thing I don't want to
And I don't wanna
have in
give that
life
to
is
people.
I no, no, and I don't wanna have regrets that I
Right.
didn't at least try it. Now, if it's something that I'm trying and I've been going at this for years and I just say, "You know what? This just probably isn't for me, but I had fun trying and I had fun doing it," because
Yeah.
I gave it the I tried.
Mhm.
Don't just one time or two times and somebody tells you you can't do it or you shouldn't be doing it or
Mhm.
it's too much work involved.
Right.
And then you take that and then you just go, well, it is a lot. And I do need to pay the bills and I need this. And then 10 years later, you're going to say, it's still in me.
Yeah.
And I wasted 10 years.
And see, I
So,
didn't wanna say that. That was
no.
one big reason why I was so am. I am so grateful that my mom did not make me go to college, and she received a lot of flack for that. People who couldn't pronounce my name right, it's a lot of y'all out there. People
Mm-hmm.
who I did not see on a regular basis,
Mm-hmm.
people who, because I get that, a lot of people think they're showing love by being invasive, but they weren't supportive. Sometimes you don't need to have, um, protection all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people didn't mean any harm. They were being very genuine in the fact that they were
Right.
just like, "It's
That's
a
right.
big, mean world out there, and I just want you to be safe." Now, I could
Mm-hmm.
differentiate who was who, but
Right.
there were some
Exactly.
people that were just cynical, that just didn't know how to dream, didn't have any hope. I
Okay.
I'm gonna say it. Hi,
Okay.
I just have a question. How is it that you're telling me that I can't travel the world if you haven't left your county?
Mm-mm. 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 That's
A
for
lot
someone.
of unhappy people were telling me legitimately not to be happy. They were saying, "You don't need to do all of that. You doing too much. You're thinking too big. You need to just go to college and get you a regular job and
See,
make your money that way."
safety. Just stay right in
God is
here.
my ark of safety,
Mhm.
and he's
Mhm.
got this whole world in his hand. So that means no matter where I go, I'll never be plucked out of his hand.
Mhm. Okay, that was for somebody
He's
because
the God of the land, he's the God
you
of the sea,
yeah.
he's the God of the stage, he's the God of the office, he's the God of the plant, he's the God of the factory. He is God and God all by himself. I
Mhm.
can go wherever his steps order me to go,
Mhm.
As long as I'm in God's will, that's where I need to be. And if God's will puts me in Italy, that's where I'm going. If God's put me in Australia, that's where I'm going. And Lord, if you really want to take me to Antarctica, I mean, I'll be there.
Okay. Well,
But my point
I'm
is,
with you that
yeah,
wherever he places me.
that's where I'm gonna go because there's no better place to be than in the will of the Father. And
Mm.
it was just too much. My cross to bear consisted of putting ministry behind my performance. That's how God wanted me to reach out, and I knew it every time. I could feel it. He spoke it to my heart, every single word. Sometimes when I would just open my book and the Bible and study, things like that. I needed to go out and be
Mhm.
fishers of men. That's what
Mhm.
God calls us to do as his disciples. And I couldn't just do that with people in my hometown who didn't want to hear what I had to say, who didn't want to see what I had to do. And besides, even for lack of a better term, let's take the spiritual side, the aspect out of it.
Mhm.
I was unfulfilled. I wanted secularly, just,
Mhm.
without outside of Christ, which will never be, but for lack of a better term, that was just something that I wanted to do, and God said, "If you delight yourself in him,
Oh,
he'll give you the desires of your heart."
yeah, and he takes delight in us.
Yes, that's
A
why he
and
created
his and
us.
then his plans for us. Okay. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
go ahead.
I was about I'm having a moment
Have
and
your
I'm trying
moment.
no, I'm gonna say it. He is creator. Imma put it to you
Yes.
as simply as I know how.
Mhm,
He's creator of heaven and earth,
mhm,
of man and woman,
mhm,
the air that we breathe.
mhm,
He wakes us up. He puts us to sleep.
mhm,
He has protection covering us constantly.
mhm,
And you're gonna tell me not to dream or the dreams he gives to me, or not even just our talents, but when you have a relationship with Christ,
mhm.
it's not just right here in Florence.
Right.
If I'm in the airplane, he's in the air with
Yes,
me.
he is.
Wherever I travel, wherever my steps are, he's with me. And
Omnipresent.
so you're going to say that I shouldn't, you should just go to college,
Mhm.
stay right here in Florence, maybe go to Birmingham, maybe go here, maybe go there. Don't get so outside of yourself. Why are you doing? You're doing too much. Too much of what Christ did a whole lot. And you're
Yeah.
going to say he did too much?
Mhm, and Jesus is our example.
That's what That's what I'm gonna do, and if like I said, I allowed without knowing I was allowing somebody because of not because of them saying I can't do, but I met somebody once and, met me this way,
Mhm.
and then once we got involved, then they were just, like, slowly like, "Well, why are you gonna go do this?" Or, "I don't like the way they're looking at you." Well,
Mm.
that's what I do,
Mhm.
and it's not because I thought my stuff didn't stink.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
The passion, the dream.
yeah,
Do you know at 103 years old, I still have passion in me
and I pray
to
for that.
do you'll never keep your relationship with Christ and watch, it never dies.
Wow, God, thank you. Also, thi I'm so grateful for hearing that, but I just had a thought. This is what we are not saying. We're not saying that you are wrong if you wanna
Mm-mm,
have
mm-mm.
traditional, um, standard ways of living. If you're in
Living,
high
yeah,
school right now and your dream is to go to college to be an
please do.
accountant, live your
No,
dream.
you
That's
just
what
said if that's what you want
if
to
that's
do.
what you want, yeah,
Yeah, then God bless you, go for it. Be an
that's all we're
accountant.
saying. Be
Didn't I
an
say
accountant.
yesterday about the mechanic?
Be an
If you
be a
love
mechanic.
working on cars and you could
Work
do
on a
anything,
car.
look, go to a place where
Right,
you could a trade school,
right.
learn that craft and say,
Mhm.
"Okay, I'm gonna work in this shop," and eventually own your own shop. So I
Yeah.
don't care what you do in life, whatever your passion is,
Mhm.
fulfill it.
Yeah, and if you're not passionate, because I
Oh
know
yeah.
people that are just, eh,
Look,
that's not a
that's
problem.
that's not a problem.
Actually, congratulations, because passions that burn can be burdens. So, but God
Yeah.
is a bearer and a heavy load
Mhm.
share. But
Yeah.
we're not putting anybody down. We're
No, I'm
I
glad you
personally
you
was
threw
just
that out
saying,
there.
oh yes, I personally was just saying it affects me negatively to have been put down because I was just a little bit different from the majority of people that I was around.
Because a lot of people just want and look, when I say normal lives, it's not that
Mhm.
I think, uh that I'm on the Beyonce level,
Oh, yeah, me
but
either.
I'm gonna tell you this, the reason why I put myself high is because my father sits high, and
Well,
he said who I am. I belong to him.
the humble is exalted, so
Okay. So I am anybody who knows me, and I hope you're getting to know me every morning,
mhm,
that I'm not that one that, again, I use the word stank, and you know what I'm talking about.
mhm.
I don't think that my I better watch myself. But listen, I'm saying that if you decide I want to grow up, get through high school, maybe do a couple years in college, meet someone, get married,
Yeah,
have some kids,
mhm,
and have that house, and you enjoy your job, and
yeah,
you guys have Christmas parties, and you're having a nice, sweet, normal life.
yeah,
And life, there are problems in it, but you know,
sure,
and
yeah.
that's you want that simple life. That's that's a blessing.
That is such
It's
a
a
beautiful
beautiful
blessing.
blessing to have your children and to be married. All of
Yeah,
that's a blessing. I'm just saying, if you have something in you that's a creative thing,
mhm,
and that's what you want to do. Everybody is placed on this earth and has a purpose for
absolutely.
being. So we're all we all make the world go round.
That's exactly what we're
And
saying.
God has a plan for each and every one of you. And if yours is
Absolutely.
to have 3 kids or 4 or 2, if yours is to be that accountant or
Mhm.
mechanic, if yours is to be a
A
theater
nurse or
actress, a nurse,
mhm,
or
whatever you want to be.
whatever it is, pray. Just keep God with you,
Absolutely.
and walk with Jesus.
Absolutely.
You know, he's your best friend. He's your everything. So when you have that, it's a, what is it? As for me and my house,
We will serve the Lord.
okay, and then after that, everything else.
Mhm.
I don't care
Seek ye
what it is.
first the
The
kingdom of
kingdom of God
God
and
and
his
every and his righteousness.
righteousness.
And his righteousness. Don't forget, we gotta act right. He says, "Be ye holy, for he is holy." Seek ye first the kingdom of God
Mhm.
and his
His
righteousness, and
righteousness.
all these things we've added unto you. And the verse is really talking about your necessities, not to
Mhm.
worry about what you're gonna eat and what you're gonna wear. That's also
Right.
stated in Matthew. But
Mhm.
I also believe that God isn't um he wants to bless us. He doesn't wanna withhold
Mm-mm.
from us. That's why
No.
he said he's able to do exceedingly and abundantly and above all we can ask or
Mhm.
think. He wants to give he gave us life and life more abundantly. God doesn't just give us bare minimum.
No, he's
You
not. No,
you
he's
can
not a small
he's
God.
not a small God, and you don't have to think small when you serve such a big God. I'm not
Dream
saying
big.
yeah, dream big. I'm not saying
Hmm.
go to God as if he owes you something
Oh, honey, stop.
because
Yeah, I mean, not you stop. I'm just saying,
yeah,
y'all better
yeah, that's not what
stop
I'm
that.
saying. Approach God humbly, okay? But
Th
he
and
also said with boldness, meaning you don't have to be ashamed to be like, God,
Mhm.
this is what's in my heart. These are my hopes and dreams for life.
Yeah, this is my
These
desires.
are my desires. And Lord, no matter what, I want to give you glory. No matter what, I want to be a good and faithful servant. So, God, show me how to do this so that I'm doing it in
Mhm.
your will, in your holiness, the way you have directed,
Mhm.
so that I can please you
Come on now.
ultimately. And I know because you love me, oh God,
Mhm.
that when you let me live my desire, when I'm doing your will and when I'm working in
Mhm.
your purpose, that you'll let me have some positivity and some pleasure out of it as well.
And I mean,
I
and
won't be
really, no, I'm sorry to cut you
no,
off,
it's
'cause
okay.
no, 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 'cause I was in church.
No,
Really, I
it's
was
okay.
sitting here going, "Okay, I'm
We
just
are the
gonna."
church and we're together.
And I'm gonna just start listen.
Mhm.
Now that Miss oh, Lord, I'm loud. I heard that through the
Tear it
now
up. It's alright.
that I was gonna say, now that Miss is here, it's gonna be a lot of shouting and amens from this side,
And this side.
because you're speaking truth. Because I
Mhm,
believe in all things we
mhm,
are to praise him and thank him
mhm.
in all things.
All things.
If you even have a bad day, and
Mhm.
I've had them,
Yeah,
and just say, Lord, I thank you for bringing me thus far,
absolutely.
because I know if I'm still here, there's a plan that you have for me. And we talked
Absolutely.
about that going through. So in all situations and
Mhm.
circumstances, praise him, thank him, love him, because
Absolutely.
he's some things are a test, and some things it's just like, oh, I want to see how my baby gonna handle this.
Yeah. Also, to your point, God is not a bully.
No,
God
uh,
does not
Lord,
give us hard times, give us hardships
no.
just because he's big and bad enough to do so.
Mm-mm.
God is love.
Hmm.
And God getting glory for himself and deserving glory. It's not because he's egotistical, it's not because he's conceited, it's not because he's arrogant. It's that he is God, and that's something that only the Holy Spirit can
Mhm.
discern, and even then you don't fully understand it in your
Mm-mm.
humane mind. But
Mm-mm.
God is God, and when he gets his glory, he will get his glory no matter what, but when he gets his glory out of you, there's an abundant and a favored blessing and an anointed blessing that comes on
Mhm.
top of that, which is why you don't have to say either or to all things. Now there are some things like in my and
Mhm.
we gotta take a break in a second, but in my profession, in our profession, in the music industry,
Yes.
in the
Mhm.
entertainment industry, there are some dark places, okay?
Mhm.
There are some
Mhm.
you have to have boundaries, okay? You can live
Oh,
your
Lord
dreams
Jesus.
and
Mm.
but you cannot straddle the fence. You have
Mm-mm.
to have boundaries.
Mm-mm.
And it does not mean, even if you delight yourself in the Lord and he'll give you the desires of your heart, it doesn't mean that you won't have hard times because just like the Bible
Mm-mm.
says,
You going to.
delight yourself in the Lord for he'll give you the desires of your heart. The Bible also says, many are the afflictions of the righteous,
Mhm.
but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. So you will have hard times. You will have days that you have
Mhm.
to cry. You will have days where you just need to say, Lord, I'm struggling. Lord, please help me. Give me your peace. Give me your strength. But that does not mean that you have to quit. You
You can't
can't
quit.
dodge
Mm-mm.
hardship.
No.
If
No.
you don't ever try to live your dreams, that means you'll be sad because you didn't live your dreams. If you go for your dreams, something's gonna happen, you're gonna have
Mhm.
hurdles, and you're gonna have things coming at you. Things will be hard
Mhm.
regardless. So just ask
Always.
God to this is what I did. Like, "God, I know it's gonna be hard, but this is what I want out of life. So I'd rather it be hard this way."
Right.
"Oh, Lord, I'm rambling. I don't know if that made any sense."
No.
I don't know if that made any sense. I pray to God it made sense, but my point is you can even through the hardships, even through the pain, even through the toils of life, you can still live a dream,
Of
whatever that
course.
is. And whoever's dream, we just support everybody's dream,
Mhm.
even if it's different. You don't have to put somebody down because they're different from you.
Right.
Yeah,
And all
that's
our
all I'm trying to
struggles
say.
are different. I know
Mhm,
that we're going to be going into break
mhm.
soon, so, we
2 minutes, go ahead.
oh, okay. Every like you're talking about, everybody's dreams are different, and it's okay to dream even if you said, "Well, it's just a dream. That's not what I really want. This is what I really want." Well,
Mhm,
I can't stress it enough to have a relationship with Christ. I
absolutely.
can't stress it enough. Um, and also, you can't win brownie points with God. The only brownie points you're gonna get are the brownies that we bake because you can't be good enough.
You
It's all
it's
about what's in your heart
it's not by
because
works, lest any man should boast.
you can fake and bake with everybody else and have this, but your heart is something else that God can see
That's
because
right.
that's how some people can manipulate you
That's right.
and trick you into other things and have you thinking they have my best interest at heart when they have another agenda. God sees all. You stay in prayer. You stay in prayer. Lord, this is what I'm trying to do. This person says they're going to try to help me. Lord, please protect me. Help me to see things that I can't see.
Absolutely.
I mean, just stay in prayer. And even if that thing crumbles, it still won't affect you totally. It may say, well, I tried this and this happened, and don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. I mean, I don't care. Like I was telling Katera, is that even at this age, the dreams that I have, it's the latter years of my life that's going to
Mhm.
be the greater.
Oh, yes.
And I've enjoyed my life, all the lumps and the bumps and girl, I got something to tell you. We're gonna do it in the next when we come back.
Okay. I can't wait to hear it.
I'm just
L
full.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm full too. You are listening to WKAX 1500 AM Winning Worship Radio with Katara Bray and the lovely Miss Janet. We'll be
Right
right back.
back. so glad you're looking over there. Okay, I would have known when I couldn't hear myself.
Hello, hello, and welcome back to
Welcome back.
WKAX 1500 AM Winning Worship Radio. I am Katara Bray,
I am
and
Janet.
I finally got the intro right.
L- Here
Mm,
we go. Work it out.
work it out.
Work it out.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Oh God, I love it.
I know, right?
And you know what? It's gosh, we have already done an hour. A
It
little
has
a
been an
little over
hour,
an hour.
just a little over an hour.
I'm gonna just change up for just a moment.
Change up.
It's not so much that I want to discuss. Well, I guess we are going to discuss it. It was something
Hmm.
I seen on the news, and I meant to look it up when I got here to work, but there was other stuff going on. But I seen where this young man, it was in court, and the judge was sentencing him, and I guess he was pleading his case. He didn't want to go back to prison. And so she said, well, because of your track record, and all the many chances that you've had, I'm going to, and I don't think she used the word example. I think she said, I'm going to have to do this so that you, it's either she was wanting him to learn his lesson
Hmm.
or not even learn the lesson, because I don't think you can really learn. You start thinking when you're in jail, you start
Yeah, because
praying, and you
what
start
I've heard is they
saying,
don't have much else to do.
you don't have much else to do but like reflect.
Hmm.
But I think what she was saying is that you need to now, what is the word? Uh okay, it's something like, okay, now you need to just go ahead and go to prison and do the time, because all these things that he had done, I mean, three different types of felonies
Oh.
and misdemeanors and robberies and beating people up and just
Hmm.
just a whole lot of stuff. And she said, and now it's just time for you to pay the piper. You gotta
Oh,
you gotta do this.
when you do the crime, you got to do the
You
time. Is that
just
what you're
gotta do
saying?
it, because he may have had a couple years here, a couple years there. I mean, for some of them were violent crimes.
Hmm.
And she said, and your track record
Hmm.
has shown that now you need to just go
Go. Okay.
away.
Hmm.
Okay. This man was pleading his case, and he was speaking, in a calm manner. And when she said, no, this is what we're going to do, that man leaped over where the judge sits. And when the other man, the court reporter, the stenographer saw him coming, you could see they finally turned the audio up, but he was like, "Oh no, no, no!" That was the stenographer sitting next to the judge, and this man, in one single bound, leaped over to attack the judge. She fell over onto the floor, the flagpole fell, the stenographer ran over and was trying to get the man off of her, and here comes, other people in the courtroom, sheriffs, bailiffs. Yes, ma'am.
So he was trying to say, "Let me go. I won't do no more crimes." By doing a crime?
Yes. Well,
So you
see,
just gonna show me why you really need to be in
yeah,
jail, while
you
asking me
just,
not to put you in jail.
yeah. See, if she would have said, well, okay, I'm going to give you probation, he would have been fine with that.
So this is what happened
I'm,
when you don't get your way?
and then, or he was thinking, maybe I need to go to a facility. Come to find out, the guy does suffer from mental, uh some mental disorder. He
Mhm,
he he does. And so I don't know what mental disorder, but here's my thing.
mhm.
If you all knew that, instead of just imprisoning someone, then get them help, put them somewhere. Start with that first. As long as there wasn't a violent murder and all that. And even in that, when you go to prison, they still need to get some help.
Yes.
Even if you're going to send them to prison, they need some help.
Mhm,
And so he just couldn't, fathom the thought, because I don't know, I'll just say 10 years versus he's only used to 2 or 3 here and there.
mhm.
So something like that, but he leaped over that thing and then come to find out it's a mental disorder. Now I said that to say this, there are people who say with mental disorders, you just need Jesus and he will solve everything.
Mhm,
And then there are some people who say, no, you need to be on medicine
mhm,
and that's going to solve everything.
mhm.
And then there are some, and that is me, who believe you need both. And the
Me
reason
too.
why I say both, and I will always start talking to the person about Christ. But if I'm seeing that either those voices are taking over or that you may have a chemical imbalance in the brain, you could be suffering from schizophrenia. It's something deeper. In order for me to bring Christ to you, you may have to have that medicine that diminishes the voices
Mhm.
or something. I do
Yeah.
believe, I'm not gonna say, now, let me flip on myself.
Mhm.
Sometimes, because that's the mysteries and the wonders of God,
Yeah.
sometimes you could just bring it to the Lord, and I mean, really, and they can be healed in all of that.
That's true. That's
He
very
can
true.
take all that away. So, but that's why I said, even in my saying that you need both, I'm always gonna bring you to Christ first.
Absolutely.
That's my first step. And how about this? As I'm taking you to therapy, as I'm taking you to where you need to go, we're still going to be discussing Jesus
Yeah.
because you need some Jesus.
Mhm.
We all do. Even us who claim to be in our right mind need some. Thank you, because I was trying to. You see, I bumped the doggone
I'm
microphone.
here for you.
Some quotation. Consider ourselves normal or sane or
Mhm.
whatever. We need Jesus. So those
Yes.
who are suffering from a mental disorder or chemical imbalance, or for those who are just like you and I,
Mhm.
normal,
Mhm.
but we're still doing these criminal acts. Why?
Mhm.
So I,
Mhm.
I believe, bring Jesus while you're also bringing them what they may, some do need medicine, some need therapy, some need
Yep.
this. Even
Look.
as a therapist, if I
Yeah.
were one, I would incorporate Jesus in it every
Oh,
time.
yes.
I
Cause look,
promise you I
here's the
would.
thing, y'all. Um, your brain is an organ, okay?
Hello.
We
Thank you.
know God is a mind regulator.
Yeah,
We know that. And we also
yes.
know because I've had people say, when you're in church and when you know Jesus, you don't need therapy. I do disagree. I'm with you. I believe Jesus and therapy. They got t-shirts now to say Jesus and
Mhm.
therapy. Okay, the same people that bless God for being a provider. Okay, if God is a provider, why do you go to work every day?
Mhm.
The Bible
Amen.
says a man who doesn't work, he doesn't eat. But if
Mhm.
God is a provider, why do you do something that would look like
Mhm.
you were providing for yourself?
Right.
Okay?
Mhm.
You can have faith, absolutely, that God
Oh,
will regulate your mind, but faith without
what
works
without works, it's
is
dead.
dead.
It's
If
dead.
you are suffering out there, no matter what it is, you may not have schizophrenia, you may not have voices and stuff in your
Right.
head, but if you have thoughts that do not produce life,
Right.
that is not a godly thought, go into prayer. Ask God to send you to at
Mhm.
least a therapist, because I also,
Or send you
yeah,
somewhere.
get wary about stuff. Because I mean, if you have heart disease and you have heart attacks and stuff, you'll take a pill about it
If you have high
to
blood
increase your
pressure,
right,
diabetes, you
to
know,
increase your quality of life. There
hello.
is nothing
Wrong.
wrong with going to therapy, and I'm not just saying that because 'cause I'm 23 and I was raised in a different era, but it's necessary because that's why a lot of people are struggling so much. You
Mhm.
actually may not have high blood pressure if you go talk to somebody.
Hello,
You
somebody.
you 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 really may solve a lot of your physical problems if you go get some mental help, because your brain is
Mhm.
so powerful that whatever occurs in the brain will be manifest in the body. There's this beautiful book that I have not read yet. It's called The Body Keeps the Score, and we got to go into a break soon. But it's called The Body Keeps the Score,
Mhm.
meaning when you have had things affect you on from the slightest thing to the most traumatic thing,
Mhm.
your body remembers.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever smelled something and it takes you back to a memory?
Yes.
That is what psychologists call a trigger. It's not a negative trigger all the time. Like, whenever I smell lemon things, I think about my grandmother's, she had a scent in the bathroom that smelled like lemon.
Mhm.
And, it brings a warm, nostalgic feeling for me. Have you ever heard a song that
Oh,
makes
yeah.
you think of something?
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
trigger. Now that can happen.
Mhm.
Triggers can be for bad things. And when you feel these difficult and uncomfortable things
Mhm.
and you suppress it, they can grow into some major harmful things, not just
Mhm.
to you, but to other people. You could get to the point where you are leaping over to attack a judge. I mean,
Yeah.
it can get rough, it can grow, and we gotta take a break. But ladies
Mm.
and gentlemen, Jesus and therapy. Please go talk to somebody if
Yes.
something's happening with you, and
And
if you
attend a church. We'll talk
and
about
attend
that
a
later.
church. We'll talk about that when we come back. You are listening to WKAX 1500 Winning Worship AM Radio, and we'll be right back.
Right back. You.
Welcome, welcome back. Welcome back.
We are getting on this thing real good, aren't
Yes, we
we?
are. We're doing so great,
We are
man.
doing
Look at
awesome.
us. This is WKAX 1500 Winning Worship AM Radio. I am Katera
I
Bray.
am Janet. This is okay. Let me start over. This is the amazing, the awesome, the one and only, ladies and gentlemen,
Ooh.
Katera Bray. Let's see if that works. Nope,
Oh,
doesn't
it didn't
work.
work. I don't even know what all these buttons do.
You know what? I think it's nope, that has to be the one. It may not be hooked up right. There's a different one. It has an applause.
It has applause.
Mm-hmm. So it
Wow.
but here we go.
Oh,
Katera Bray.
the lovely Miss Janet, the one and only. Oh, wait, she's a poet, so I snap.
That's right, girl. You know.
I do
You
know.
know.
Yes,
You
indeed.
know.
You know,
Oh my
growing up,
God.
I'm gonna just tell on myself.
Please.
I snap with my third finger. Everybody else snaps with the second
Uh-huh.
because they're regular people, and I physically am incapable. I wonder if that has anything to do with us. Hmm, the phone ringing. But yeah, I'm physically and I don't do it well. Look at my thumb. I can only snap with my
Really?
third finger.
And I'm trying.
Mhm.
Okay, it's trying to make some noise, but it looks
Yeah,
awkward. So
mine I know. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I told you I do awkward things and it's just me,
but
and
and
so I
it
can't get
works.
totally it works for me. It works for
Wow,
me.
that is amazing. That's amazing. And she did it just like I would be doing
Mhm.
the middle finger. That's
And
awesome.
people who really be looking at me, they notice it, but I don't
Mhm.
just shout the alarm, but
I
now,
would
yeah.
have never noticed that.
Mhm.
That's amazing. I
Yeah, and
like
people
that.
are
That's
like,
different
"What?
and unique. Just like I like people who write left-handed. Because I
You
think
like
that there's
me?"
do you write left-handed for
I
reals?
do. Have you noticed that?
No.
Yes.
No, I see,
But
Imma
it's
break the
funny.
table one day.
Oh, don't break the table. We gotta quit, man.
I know.
And,
No, I never noticed that
I
you
actually started out right-handed.
okay.
I still write with my right hand, and nobody believes me. I'm gonna have to because they're gonna be somebody like, "Girl, you lying," and I'm gonna have to just be like, "No, I write with whatever hand I'm in the mood for." And legitimately, in high school, when I would do papers, and if we, because we didn't always type, Chromebooks were
Mhm.
just a little bit later. When I would do papers, one hand would get tired, I'd pick up with the other hand, and I do that now. I still do that now.
So you
And
can write either
I can write either, and I Googled it. I did it because my grandfather was left-handed, and I was just like,
mm.
"I wanna be left-handed," and so I just decided the first word I ever wrote with my left hand, I remember I was in 5th grade, it was the word owls. It just took me because I'm not my left hand wasn't my dominant hand, and I was training it, and I couldn't grip my
And you're
pencil the
trying
right
to
way.
do owls?
Yeah, and the first word that I wrote was owls, and it took me a hard, long time to do it. But, eventually I just kept training it, and I Googled what that means, and I'm gonna Google it now because I thought it was interesting.
You mean to train yourself that way or people?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that's really natural or I don't know. To be able to
Mhm,
write with both hands, I think it's amazing,
mhm,
but I've always thought and I don't know why, I guess because I cannot write with my left hand or because it looks
mhm,
so different and special. Not it doesn't look awkward to me, but it's just a beautiful thing to me. I don't know why, but people who are left-handed, I have told many of people whether I knew them or not that I say, "You know what? You're special.
mhm.
You're just a special person because you're left-handed."
Aw. Well, my grandfather, I really do love my grandfather, and I do agree that he was special, but Google says, or what is this website? RoryO'Keefe.com blog says, I don't know if this is reputable, everything on the internet isn't true, but it made me feel good about myself. I Googled what are the benefits of using your non-dominant hand. And it says use of the non-dominant hand also increases the amount by which the non-dominant brain hemisphere is
Oh,
activated, much more so than using the dominant hand. This is strongly correlated with improvised levels of creativity, intuition, ability to feel. That's good stuff we can all do more of.
okay, you know what? You're gonna make me add 103 that I'm proud of.
Hey.
Try to practice writing with my
Mhm. And
left.
I
That
have
is
had
I like
improved
that.
levels of creativity.
Mhm.
I definitely consider myself to be intuitive.
Yes.
I try to view myself objectively, but I really do have a strong tuition. Generally, I'm right about a lot of stuff. And I have such an intense ability to feel, and I should probably stop writing with my left hand to shut that part off, but because you feel
No.
everything.
Yeah.
All of my senses are heightened, all of them. And it's it can be annoying. Like I have very sharp hearing. Yes, it
Mm,
helps me be on pitch. Yes, it helps me hear when things are loud and all of that stuff, but also when I want to sleep
mm.
and somebody is driving down the road going,
You can hear it?
I can hear it. And I can also hear somebody could be far away, like miles away down the street, and I
Mm.
can hear their music, their bass bumping, and it will bother me. Yeah.
Well, I think that since your little spider senses are there, they're not gonna leave you now.
I don't think so either.
No,
Because
I think
back when
they're
I was
part
in
of
5th
you.
grade trying to do that kinda stuff, I just did it because I wanted to write with my left hand. I didn't do it because I was trying to
Right, you didn't know any of this,
I
you
didn't know
just
any of
wanted to
that.
be like your
I
grandfather.
really did, and that was all of it.
Mhm, and that was special enough
Mhm.
right there. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Thank you.
That is, yeah, I mean, he must have been an amazing man.
He was. That was the only grandfather I got to know because, as I mentioned before, my dad was adopted by his uncle.
Mhm,
Um, uh And so I his biological parents, we never met he never met his biological mom, and when he got to meet his biological dad, and of course, he was raised by his aunt and uncle who he knew
mhm,
as mother and father. But they all passed away before I was born, so I never got to meet them. And
mm,
so my mom's side of grandparents, my maternal grandparents were the only grandparents I ever got to meet.
mhm.
And so, yeah, and also I am the self-proclaimed favorite grandchild. Yes, I am. And, yeah, I really got to spend a lot of time with my grandparents, my sister
That's
and I
good.
know, I'm blessed, I'm grateful. There's no relationship like the one with your grandparents. My sister and I, we spent most of our day growing up at their house. We would get off the bus or I would get off the bus at their house. My grandmother would pick us up and take us to and fro from school
Mhm.
to practice and all that stuff. So, yeah, I got the best out of my
Grandparents
grandparents.
are the most they so special
So special.
and not to say parents are because,
Oh,
when
parents
we
rock.
left the South, I
Mhm,
was a little girl, so, my mother's mother would come and visit from, a couple of times that I can remember,
mhm,
and then after that, that was it. So my immediate family was is my all in all
mhm.
until we came back.
So where were you born?
Memphis, Tennessee.
So what brought y'all out to California?
Well, you know what? I was a little girl.
Mhm,
So when I got to California, my brother went to kindergarten, I went to 1st grade.
mhm,
But I can still remember some things about
mhm,
my childhood in Memphis,
mhm,
around the house and Miss Blunt. I'll never forget Miss Blunt.
mhm.
And but so there's some things, but my story is too I can't not yet.
Okay.
As far as from California back here and then now
Mhm,
me going back and forth.
mhm. Feel
So
free to decline. I'm curious as to what inspired you to want to travel abroad and be creative, if that's okay to ask.
that's okay. It's I like you said, it's that passion and that you know,
Mhm,
the boyfriend I had at the time was from Europe,
mhm,
and I was on a w okay, it was, the Pasadena not convention center, it's something, but anyway, I was on this, hair, fashion, and clothes tour type thing.
mhm,
And so we went to Pasadena and there was the Philharmonic Orchestra there.
mhm,
And so when we got there, and this is, I promise you, it's a true story. The, uh, normally they didn't, well, we were traveling. So that night before or the day of, she curled everyone's hair and most of the girl had curlers and rollers in her hair, and I didn't. She did my hair, and she put these clips in. So
okay.
the and I was wondering, either you ran out of rollers or I don't get them, or and I don't think she wanted them as tight as a roller could, but she put clips. So we're all riding up there, and then she said, "Okay, we're gonna get a bite to eat before everybody goes into the rooms." And so the team, we got this table in a restaurant in the hotel, just as we were.
Just as you were.
You know, girls with rollers, scarves,
Mhm,
and, me with pins and everything, and we're sitting there, and there was a gentleman at this long table, and there was a bunch of men at this table, I didn't know he was from another country. I really didn't. I just kept seeing him staring at me, and I'd stare back. And I had water. I don't know if he had wine or water, but in our glass, he lifted his glass to me. And so I lifted mine, and all the ladies and the gentlemen at the other table, everybody's looking like, what is going on? When he stood up
Did your
to
heart drop to
approach
your
our
stomach?
table, I'm surprised it's still in my chest to this day. And when he stood up and they were like, he's coming over here. I heard them, but I didn't.
I
They
know.
told me later. I promise you I didn't hear them because they told me later, he's coming over here. I never heard it. When I saw him stand up, I thought, this man is coming over here. And so when he came to me, I thought he was a white man. I didn't know he was from the country. He bent over. He spoke to the ladies, and then he bent over to me, and he held my hand. He says, "What country are you from?"
You're still alive.
And I'm still like, and the lady who was doing my hair, she said, "United States," because no one's ever asked me what country you're from. They will say, "What is your name?
Right.
What is your sign? What is your perfume? Whatever. What is your name?" But he held my hand. He says, "What?" In his accent, and said, "What country are you from?" And I looked and I thought, I don't know. I didn't say it out loud, but in my head, I'm like, I don't know. And so that's when the lady she leaned in and said, and whispered in my ear, States.
Were you able to say that?
Yeah, after, and
Oh,
because
okay.
I kept looking at it. When she told me where I
Mhm.
was from, then I
Mhm.
said, United States.
Mhm.
And so he says, "Oh, I thought you were from another country because you look," and he was, as he was talking, I'm like, "Where are you from?"
Yeah.
You know,
You have
so
the accent, sir.
so we talked
Here,
for
at
a few
least.
minutes, and he told me his name, and I told him my name, and he says, "I would love to see you later." He says, "After dinner, can we take a walk?" And so and I looked at the lady, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry." So he didn't know if it was my mother, if he didn't know anything. So he says, "Do I have permission to take her for a walk?"
Oh,
And first of all, I'm
gentlemen.
thinking, I've never had a man ask permission for a walk and all this and this. We took a walk. And it was in the evening, and I'd never been into Pasadena at night, so we looked at the lights, we were up, and we just
I'm
walked and
sorry, I do
talked.
have a question. You still had them pins in your head?
Yes.
And on the wall? Alright then.
Yes, I did.
Get it, girl.
Yes, I did.
Get it, ma'am.
No show makeup for the stage, nothing. I was just like this, and my hair was up, and so we
That's good.
took us a walk and everything, and so
That's how you know she popping, ladies and gentlemen.
now,
She had it going
I
on.
have never said the story out loud.
You had it going on
N g well,
and still got it. Go ahead, I'm
I'm
listening.
only listening to her because she's
Mhm.
smart.
And I'm telling the truth.
No.
Y'all see, she on camera.
No.
And I can envision how you just stole his heart.
Look,
Roll of
look
pins.
at this girl right here. Listen, we're gonna get on her in a minute. She thinks she's gonna do this to me. I got her.
No.
No, we took our walk, and then when I came back, everybody was just talking, and we were laughing, and it was nice.
Mhm.
And he told me, he was a classical musician, and where he lived, he's from Vienna in Austria, and so we talked. The next day, I'm doing my show, and I knew that they had a performance that evening, but I didn't think nothing about it. After we got off, we all came to our room. There was an envelope under the door, and we opened. Everybody's like, "What?" And so we opened it, and it was a ticket to my first concert because I've never heard classical music. So it was my first ticket, and they just I was so tickled and so like, "Oh my god." And these women snatched me to, "Okay, we gotta get you ready."
Them some girls right there. I love that.
I mean, I had to refresh, so I took the shower, they
Yes.
cleaned my face, they redid the makeup, and I said, "I don't want I'm walking down
Stage makeup, yeah.
stage makeup, just
Just regular makeup, yeah,
Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
mhm.
She redid my hair, and then I put on one of the outfits, and, I went alone, and I sat in this auditorium, good seats, and by myself. I mean, not by myself, I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
felt I was by myself,
I bet.
and it was people around, and I was listening to beautiful music,
Oh my
this beautiful
goodness.
music, and that was from there, that was my and that was it. Then it was dinner, and it was the whole weekend, and so that we were there. Then he went back to his country, I went back to, where I lived, and we started corresponding. It was a
Wow.
year of corresponding and talking on the phone here and there. He would pay the phone bill. In America, if I had to, call him, so he said, "Anytime you wanna call, you call me," and, he said, "I'll take care of that phone bill." It was my mother and daddy's phone. So he paid that phone bill for a whole year
Wow.
just to talk to me, and he would send me stuff on my birthday, he would send stuff, and this was a
Oh.
whole year just corresponding, and then later, because I was doing my thing, I had a job, I worked for an advertising agency and, different stuff like that, so I was working and established. I've never been out of the country,
Mhm.
and so after a year, he said he wanted me to come visit him for the summer. And then, of course, my parents had to get involved. I mean, I was
Mhm.
over 21, but still, it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
you ain't never been,
Right.
I hadn't even moved out the house yet.
See?
And your first place you trying to go,
Vienna, Italy? Hold up.
so no, it was
Mhm.
like, we
Yeah,
got to talk about it.
I
I
understand.
did go for the summer and I came back, and then he said he wanted to talk to my parents and asked if I could live there.
Did he had a conversation with your parents?
And they were I mean, it was like it wasn't even asking for my hand in marriage, but it was just a boyfriend, but still they're talking about you're not talking about moving out the house and going to the next city or
Yeah,
even around the corner 10 minutes.
right.
We talking about another country.
An ocean between us. I wow.
So I lived there 6 years.
Oh my
But I would fly
goodness.
back, once or twice a year, and even then, the whole time I lived there, he was taking care of that phone bill in California because every week, and if I did something in between, but every week I was talking to my
To
mom for
repair.
at least an hour or 2 hours on that phone, and you know how much that was? And
I'm
he would
scared.
still pay that bill every month for
Wow.
6 years, 6, 7 years, and then every time I wanted to go home, I never had to I mean, he would pay for my ticket to go back and forth.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm totally speechless, stunned, and
No,
I
no.
love I love the fairy tale. We have got to take a break.
And then we're
We will
gonna come
be
back and learn more about her because Imma tell you something, at 23, 43, 53, this girl, I'm gonna follow her until Jesus calls me home
and I'll
because
be right behind you.
I know he has amazing things planned for your life,
I have
amazing
faith that
things,
he'll use me.
and I have the faith too.
And you know you're not done yet. He still got you. You're gonna be his vessel continually. We'll be right
We'll
back.
be right
You are
back.
listening to WKAX 1500 AM Winning Worship Radio.
We'll be right back. I've never
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That song was 9 minutes, and we talked more than that. So, just over the short little break that we had,
I have a question. Um, Listen, just to let you know, the Lord always has a plan, and
uh-huh,
to be honest with you, I would like to go back and visit Europe. It was an
yeah,
experience, and I got to meet Rudolf Nureyev. He was a ballet dancer, and I
wow,
actually got to work in a palace, and I've done a lot. So it's not just and the reason why I don't talk about things I've done a lot is because people just think you're showing out, or they just think this. No, I've experienced a lot and I'm blessed. Those were my blessings. And
mhm,
I do believe I'm going to be blessed again to visit other countries, or even where I lived. So it's you never know the plans that he has for you. And I'm thankful, grateful, and blessed for every moment. And being honest with you, I'm thankful that I've had time here because I have a church home, a church family. I'm blessed to be here on this platform and working
absolutely,
here and meeting people. So you never know where the Lord will have you. I
mhm,
don't know where I'll be next year, this year,
mhm,
or wherever He places me. But they're all beautiful blessings,
yeah,
and no matter the good, the bad, the ugly of it. And I must try to stop saying the ugly because there's the good and the bad. I don't recall even in bad situations, things may have gotten ugly, but I still don't look back as that was ugly. There are
mhm,
ugly times in people's life, I believe that.
mhm,
But I don't want to look at it like that because in all of that there were so many blessings. So I'm thankful to be here, and wherever he takes me,
yeah,
I know it's well, to God always be the glory, but
mhm,
wherever he takes me and wherever my assignment is,
mhm.
I'm doing it all for him.
And you were talking about you don't like to share things because you don't want to appear as a show off. Well, there are people out there because I may be the only one around me sometimes, but I've met you, and so I'm not the only person like me. We hear that and we are inspired. Like, wow, you got to go to Italy, and this
Yep.
gentleman just saw you as a flower and saw you as beauty and wanted to
Mm,
take care of you and treat you so wonderfully, you know? That's
yes.
inspiring.
And like I said, and as promised, and thank you
Mhm,
because I could go on and on about the blessings of
mhm,
all of that. But as promised,
mhm.
I'm gonna put Katera
Oh.
on the spot now. It's her turn.
It's my turn?
No, so I want to know, and I can only imagine. I can only imagine
Mhm.
because in meeting you, in the short time that I've known you, I'm like somebody has got to have. She's taken somebody's heart. So here's the question:
Oh!
do you have a special someone in your life? And
Yes.
and maybe you could tell us how you met if you
Mhm,
not going too deep into your business,
mhm.
but just a little
I'm with you.
surface of like the surface.
Mhm. I do have someone that is
All
very,
righty
very
now.
special to me.
Okay.
It is gross because listen, y'all, I'm a G, alright? I ain't never been boy
Right.
crazy. I've never flirted. Like, I didn't crush growing up. I can count on one hand, well, there it is. I can count on one hand how many people I've been interested in. I've
Okay.
had one crush,
Mhm.
my first love,
Okay.
and this guy.
All right now. That's it.
And there was another person that I was like,
Mhm. Uh-huh. I
but
get
that's
it.
everybody. So, I was on a ship and
Okay now. There we go. That's
yeah.
that's it.
And if you've ever been on cruise ships, if you know anything about cruise life, and I'm sure this isn't the only life, there are a lot of casual relationships that happen.
I can
So,
imagine.
I wasn't fooling with nobody from a ship.
Mm-mm. Mhm.
And this gentleman comes up and, he I so happened to have been in Italy at the time as well. He wanted to take me out to lunch. And I was
Mhm.
like, "No." I ran fast and far because the thing is, and I let him know, "Look, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not looking for anything casual. I'm not looking for any part of this because people are extra weight and extra baggage, therefore extra stress, and I don't have time." This
Well,
gentleman
that's it.
replies, "Some people are worth it."
Huh. Okay. Let's take a moment. Yes. Okay. That
I'm witty. I have comebacks. I can think quick on my feet, and I can get something good in there. I have nothing to say to that.
'Cause I was waiting like,
I froze
"Dang."
up.
Oh, yeah.
I
Like,
was like,
I didn't even know I lived in a country, so,
"Hey."
I get it.
Right.
That I wouldn't have known what to come back with that.
I didn't have anything. I was
Okay.
completely taken aback. The mind went blank, and I was like, "Unblank my mind, Lord. Unblank my mind." I just I wasn't expecting that. And, yeah, I told him because, as we've agreed, because 'cause we've gotten attached to each other, I get attached quickly. When I
Mhm.
feel somebody may be safe, may be genuine, he could have been
Right.
tricking me. I was like, "Look,
Right.
before I get too far gone, I wanna stop this here. You're probably not gonna be genuine, this isn't gonna work out. I'm too sensitive, I'm not gonna forget about you. I'm gonna have
Right.
to talk to Jesus and go to therapy
Yeah.
if this goes too far."
Mhm.
And he was like, "Well, me too, I'm not in this just to play around." And I was like, "Stop lying. All y'all do is lie.
No.
All men do is lie. Don't matter where you're from, what language you speak, what country you're in, all y'all
Here
do is
she go.
lie."
I could see it.
It has been now it has been a year, 9 months,
Look at her.
and 7 days.
Look at this
There we go.
girl.
A year, 9 months, and 7 days to this day.
Wow,
And,
okay. For you to get
mhm,
down to the day,
mhm, mhm,
it's something special.
mhm,
It had to girl,
and we still together, going strong.
just for okay, let's go to lunch.
Mhm. Oh, and I did everything I could to ruin the lunch too, right? So, I had a uniform. It was very similar to that of a flight attendant's uniform.
Mhm.
I took off the nice dress shoes that went with it, and I put on sneakers. I'm sorry, Lord.
It's okay.
Black sneakers with white shoes.
Okay.
That's ugly. I did what I could to because men are visual beings. I was like, let me be unattractive so that he doesn't like me.
But he saw you. That's what he saw, is you. You coulda wore a potato sack or a sequence dress.
Mhm.
He still was actually and that's amazing that a man can just see you
Mhm.
and not
Mhm.
that.
That's another way that I knew that he was genuine because I did what I could. Also, we were in Italy. We were in Civitavecchia, Italy. And I was also pressed for time. So I have legitimate excuse for the restaurant that I chose, but it was just this little hole in the wall American burger joint in Italy. And he was like,
Really?
yeah,
Out
he
of all
makes
the
out of
places?
all the places in Italy. You going to an American joint? Okay. All right. I did
Oh,
what I could to mess things up.
and I can almost understand in the sense that, okay, I'm on a cruise ship. I
Mhm,
don't know how long this is gonna last. It's nice and it's sweet, I
mhm,
gotta eat anyway, so let's
mhm,
go.
mhm,
But he wasn't he had to prove himself.
mhm.
And then he saw you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's you that he saw and
Mhm,
not so much, yeah, it's a cruise ship. Imma see
mhm,
what I can do,
mhm,
what I can get. He just saw you and thought,
mhm.
yeah, this is what 1 year, 9 months, and 7 days.
Yep. To this
Yeah,
day.
he
Mhm.
got your heart. And
Yeah.
you have his.
I do, and I handle with care. Mhm.
Yes.
I do, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, wow." And it
That's
also
beautiful.
it is, and it also I believe it's made me a better person because recognizing I know how I feel, and I can imagine how he may feel. And so, it's really made me implement the golden rule. It's made me learn more. It's made me try to be better in general
Mhm.
just because, no, we're not married. No, we're not even talking about well, we are, but we're
Right.
serious about each other is what I'm trying to say. We're
Right,
serious
right.
about each
And he
other,
supports
and
you
he's
in what
supportive.
you're doing.
Mhm, and I support him as well because 'cause he's got his
Mhm.
own thing. We and also that was another thing that drew me to him. We were both on the hustle, just on different sides of the
Right.
spectrum. But it makes you be like, "You know what? This is a person in God's image that
Mm.
has taken interest in wanting to be my life partner."
Mhm.
This heart I'm responsible with how I treat people. I can't abuse this heart. I
That's
can't
right.
mess over this heart. I can't play with this heart. I must treat this heart like the treasure that it is because somebody
Mhm.
willing to put up, because it's true, relationships are extra weight, extra stress,
Mhm.
and extra baggage. Somebody willing to put up with mine
Th There it is.
and to
Bec
see me past all of it, that is not something to be taken for granted,
Mm-mm.
nor something to be pushed to the side.
No, I'm in total agreement with that.
Mhm,
We can't play with the heart. That's why I tell everybody, I don't mind if I'm involved with a person and then, we may have a disagreement. "I thought you paid the bill today. Now I gotta rush down there before 5 o'clock." Okay. I said yesterday we needed milk. Now I can't have my oatmeal. You know, I don't mind if we get into tiffs about that.
mhm,
"Look, I'm trying to watch the game. Can
mhm,
you please just wait for a minute? I've been waiting all day."
mhm.
See,
Yeah.
I can get down with that.
Mm,
Matters of the heart, I'm not willing to go through no mess anymore at this
mm-mm,
stage in the game of my life.
mm-mm,
Because if knowing who I am in Christ and who my father is, I know that I'm not only royalty, and I have to keep telling myself that instead of listening to yesteryear and what most people have tried to say about me or belittle me
mhm,
to keep me under their thumb so that I don't bloom into the flower that I am. So
mhm.
therefore, I am royalty and
Amen.
I am beautiful. And I
Amen.
have to keep telling myself that that's not a conceited thing.
Mhm.
That's who God says I am.
Absolutely.
And so therefore, the matters of the heart, if he blesses me and there's someone in my life, I want to take care of you, treat you as the king that I know you are because you're heaven
Mhm.
sent. Your
Absolutely.
heart hurts just like mine would.
Mhm,
I can't mess with that. Don't mess with
mhm,
mine, you know, because my I always have to tell everybody I don't want to transform on somebody because I'll choke somebody out in a minute. And so I ain't never did no jail time and I ain't trying.
mhm. You ain't
You
coming
know,
until you get caught. It's all right.
yeah, and what she said, look at us just leaning to the side and
And best believe, let me tell y'all
Jesus.
something.
Oh, Jesus.
We were talking about this the other day. How I don't mess over people that I care about,
Right, right.
and therefore you can't either.
Uh,
Something
uh,
happen,
ri
and
right
she just
here?
so happens to tell me, "Look, I got
Mm.
the truck and the shovel. If you
Y
just tell me when
And
we
you know
going."
woods out here and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, we got this. Just
Mhm.
something, but I told her I better not
I
ever say
watch
a
murder
tear.
documentaries. I know what to do and what not to do. I know how
Jesus.
all y'all got caught. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. It's because it's serious stuff. It'll drive you
just
crazy.
I'm oh, Lord.
And I wanna see how long the road is.
I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I will
Leave it
remind
alone.
myself not to tell her too much.
Don't
I
tell
know she
me.
got my back, but
I can't
I
know.
told her in the hallway, I better not see it. What I say? Better not see a tear.
Mhm. Because look, holiness is right, and my flesh gonna forget that. I'm still human,
I,
and I'm not glorifying the flesh. I'm just saying my flesh gonna forget all about that.
I got to keep a pen and pad right here. So if I'm allowed to do that, I'm gonna keep a pen and pad right here.
It's your
When
show. I'm
it's
just here
no
for
hours.
it.
You she just forgot temporarily because she's on a roll right now. Look,
Mhm.
done got herself flustered.
Just flustered
Eh.
me.
we, we back. We
We
just
back.
protective of
That's
each
all.
other, and it just got yeah. My thought went like I will.
Ooh.
So we gonna have to come back to our lovely selves because we just
You
went
bring the
somewhere.
matches, I'll bring the
Protect.
gasoline. You pick the time, I'll pick the place.
That's it.
We ain't gonna tell
And look,
nobody.
and look, as sweet
We can
and
do this
lovely
in
as
jail.
she is serious. That face just she back. I gotta
Back.
bring her back. Cause right now she almost scared me, I ain't gonna lie.
No,
And it had nothing to do with
nothing to do
her
with you.
getting out after me. We each other's back. It's just that I thought, Lord have mercy, there's a lot of power in that thing right there.
No, because look, this is also a thing that we also agreed in my relationship.
Good.
There is nothing else that we can learn from a heartbreak, I don't believe. I believe that we've both had our hearts broken and we both have learned from hardship. We don't need to teach each other anything else.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You know,
That's
it's
it.
time for a break. And we
That's
wanted to give each other a break.
and I want whatever comes my way this time, whatever the length of time that we're here on this planet that the
Mhm.
Lord blesses us with, it's time to live, laugh,
And love.
love, and that's it.
And that's it.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to bring me a new little recipe, we're gonna
Mhm.
cook together in the kitchen
Yeah.
and we're gonna laugh and love on each
And we
other.
gonna eat, drink, and be
And
merry.
and, and All of
And
that.
that's why I am very, very there's this new hashtag, this new age hashtag about protecting your peace.
I'm
I
protecting my
am
peace.
very, very protective of my peace. It is 10
Oh
AM.
my God, and we're
That's
just
our
getting
time. We're
started.
just getting started.
Oh,
Y'all may not be here. However, we're gonna be chatting once more and again for the
mhm,
rest of the day. But at 8 AM tomorrow, right
tomorrow.
here on WKAX, 1500
And
AM
AM,
Winning Worship Radio. We will be
right?
back tomorrow.
8 o'clock in the morning. Set your alarm, or if you got that internal one from God.
God.
But listen, we love you. We thank you, and have a beautiful and blessed day. This is my girl Katera. I'm Janet, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay,
Yes,
peace.
indeed.